Hello, this is Debbie with Tough the Unstoppable Female, and I am disgusted and have been disgusted for a while about hearing these evangelical white nationalist pastors. I call them men boys, boy men, bullies. Remember, bullies bully because they're insecure. So these white nationalist evangelical pastors' sole life is to belittle and demean women and girls. In other words, to shut us up. That's not going to happen. I have a video here by Lee McGowan at Politics Girl. She always says it best. You have a great one.
So I saw this podcast the other day with Joel Webbin, who's the president and founder of the Right Response Ministries and the senior pastor of the Covenant Bible Church located in Texas. And as someone who is completely inundated with the news 24/7, I've had to find a way where I don't get too outraged about everything I hear or I'm going to lose my mind. But when I came across this in my feed, in the context of the country's rising Christian nationalism and Project 2025 and people working overtime to return us to traditional values of a Christian nation, I found myself so angry that I could barely speak. The thing is, what this man says, it's not fringe. It is moving directly into our mainstream. So I'm going to let you listen to it, and I'm going to be right back.
What would cause a woman who ordinarily, according to created order and the way that God has designed women, that she would aspire towards beauty and not just external, but internal, and that chiefly described as, a gentle and quiet spirit, and rather she would forsake that and embrace being a loud woman. All right. So what are the causes? One is a lack of accountability for women, which we absolutely have had for decades. A complete and utter lack of accountability for women has caused them to be loud. But here's another one. Women in the public sphere.
Oh,
I just got to be honest. We can't just pretend that it's a lack of accountability, that it's like, oh, well, there's all these women, who are on public platforms and they're speaking, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And it's just the fact that we don't acknowledge that women have faults and the fact that we never speak about their sin and that we never hold them accountable. No, they shouldn't be speaking, period.
We shouldn't be speaking. We shouldn't be speaking at all. Because women are not held accountable for our behavior and our sin. I'm sorry, but if there's one group that's not held accountable in our society, it's sure as hell not women. Women are the ones who are forced to carry babies that were raped into them. Women are the ones dying from treatable pregnancy complications. Women are sexually assaulted in this country every 68 seconds. 1 of 3 women will experience rape or attempted rape in their lifetime. How different is what this guy said than the Taliban? How different is what he's saying than the men who took over Afghanistan and made women silent and afraid? The people who use their religion to cover women's hair and their faces and their body, who have them silent in public, not allowed to be educated, not allowed to drive, not even allowed to speak to each other. These are the people in charge of our country right now. These are the people that MAGA has held up and given power. We are being led by authority figures who are known sexual predators, supported by men with such fragile masculinity that they don't want to compete with women in school or compete with women in sports, and they don't want to compete with women in the public sphere. The lengths that these men and the women who enable them will go to shut us up is nauseating. And if you don't see how chilling this is, how close to Sharia law that they all claim to hate, then you are deliberately missing the point. And people wonder why women aren't getting married and having children, why we choose the bear. Because it's not safe for us in this country anymore. And loud women should never shut up about that.